Well, I'm here with my friend Christine. She's an old friend of mine. We met some years ago in a language exchange platform, so I'm happy to have you here, Christine. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking about this conversation for so much time because I think you were one of my best language partners back in 2016, maybe when we met for first time. And yeah, I think we did the language exchange meetings for 1 year or 2 years, and it was amazing. I learned a lot from you, from your English, and yeah, we shared the Spanish too. So now we are here to tell your story, and yeah, I want to start with that. So, but we can start talking about where are you now exactly? Where are you living? What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay. Well, my husband and I, we just moved. We now live by Erie, Pennsylvania, right by the lake. So we moved from about 45 minutes south from Meadville, Pennsylvania. So we're new here and we like it. There are not a lot of trees like there were in Meadville, but we're closer to my husband's family
Ah,
and
okay,
closer to my family. So
okay,
it's good. It's nice here.
perfect. And where were you born?
I was born in Ohio,
Ohio.
so it's a state to the left
Yeah,
on the other side. Yeah.
and you lived there during your childhood,
Yes, and through college. And
college.
then I met my husband and we moved around a little bit and now we live here.
Ah, okay, okay, perfect, perfect. Uh, so I want to start talking about what was your first approach to Spanish. But I want to ask you if when you were in the school, you learned Spanish or you learned another language. How was that?
Yes, so here, at least where I live, you have to take 2 years of a foreign language, and usually the options are you could choose French, Spanish, German, or Mandarin, Chinese.
Okay.
And I chose Spanish. I didn't even really think about the other ones because I had people in my family that spoke Spanish. So that's what I chose. And my first teacher in high school, she was from Costa Rica.
Okay.
So she was really a good teacher, and I liked to have her. And then my next teacher was from here, but he spoke fluently. And he told me I need to change my accent because I sound just like her. And he just said, you need to change it because she was older. And I don't know. I
Okay.
guess that was it.
Okay.
So then I took 2 years in high school, and then I wanted to continue doing it in taking classes in college. So I took some classes in college, and I got up to the conversational level, and the homework was just getting to be too much. I had two jobs. I was in a lot of organizations, and for some reason, for that Spanish class, it was just too much. So that was the last time I took. I had just barely passed,
Oh yeah.
and that was the last time I took a Spanish class. And I decided that I wanted to take. I still wanted to learn, but not from a class.
Yeah. So it seems that you have been in contact with Spanish since you were a kid, like for many years in the school, elementary school, high school, then the college. So there was no uh, a clear reason to take Spanish. You just did it because it's what you felt at that time.
Yeah, yeah, and I really liked it, so I stuck to it. It was different from anything else you learn, as if you learn anything else, learning a language is just so different, and it was
Yeah.
really interesting.
And yeah, when you were a kid and a young person, a young girl, there where you lived, did you have contact with Spanish speakers? There was a Spanish speaking community close to you or not?
No, not where I lived. No, I think there might have been a few Hispanic people. We had some foreign exchange students, but they were all from Spain. So where I lived, it was a very predominantly, mostly white community, not a lot of minorities. So
Okay.
we didn't really have any exposure to that too much, except for my teacher.
Okay. 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 So we can move on. And then yeah, you told me that you were studying in the college. You were studying Spanish in college, and then what happened with the Spanish for you?
Oh, okay. So I joined a fraternity, a women's fraternity, and I was very involved in that. I actually ended up having 3 jobs. So I was just really busy, and I didn't even really think about Spanish at all during those almost 4 years. It wasn't until I took my Montessori class, and half of the class were Spanish speakers and half were English speakers. I mean, the ones who spoke Spanish for the most part could speak English too, but half of the class, I mean, she would say something in English, then in Spanish, or vice versa. So that was exciting for me. I was thinking, oh, I know that word. I know what she's saying. So I didn't feel like I knew as much as everybody else, but it made me excited again
Yeah.
to be exposed to it.
What you were studying in college?
What was I studying?
Yeah,
Oh, yes. I studied early childhood education.
childhood education. Yeah, that was the reason why you started studying the Montessori system, no? Because it's an educational system.
Yes, yes. And I got to go and see a Montessori school, and I just really liked it. So I decided to do that.
Yeah. Okay. And I think this Montessori experience made you go to another country. Yes, at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, you took that decision.
yes.
So how was that, and where was?
Yes. So my Montessori teacher, Brenda, she was from Morelia, Michoacan, and I told her, I just said, I'm really nervous because whenever I go back, to work, I'm not going to work with anyone who speaks Spanish, and I'm just not going to have the exposure that I had in this class. So is there any way I could, work where your parents work, because they have a Montessori school down there? So she lined it all up for me, and I was able to go there and work there. I was an assistant teacher in the mornings, and then I was the English teacher in the afternoons. And also as an assistant teacher, the assistant teachers could only speak English. And so I wasn't speaking, I wasn't practicing as much as I wanted to, but I found within the first month of me being there, I understood almost everything. It was really cool. So yeah, there was just one day I said, oh my gosh, I understand everyone around me. This is so strange because it's a different language, but
Yeah.
it was really cool.
That you were in Morelia, yes, in Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah. So when was that you started living there?
Oh my. It was right before we talked, right?
Oh yeah, maybe
So was it
2015.
2016,
Yeah.
17,
Yes, yes, yes.
something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you were there for maybe 1 year, yes?
Yes. For about a year, a little bit less.
Yeah. And tell us, how was your experience in Mexico outside the school? How was your experience with Spanish, with locals? Did you make friends?
Yes, it was good. Well, it started with a lot of cultural, I don't know what it's called, appropriation. I had to kind of figure out what was going on. I had to, learn how to use the bus there. I had to learn how to wait in line because I wasn't good at that, I guess. And there's just, everything you have to learn all over again because it's a whole new culture. So, and with that came the language and what you're supposed to say. And so there was a lot of that, but there are still a lot of things that I know I don't know how to say and, how to react to appropriately. But it was nice to actually physically be in the country and see how, life is down there and
Yeah.
what language to use.
And when you arrived at Mexico for the first time, what was your level?
Uh, was it when I went to, well, the first time was a long time ago. It was 2007.
Oh,
That was when I had just first started. I was about, I wasn't even a year into it, a school year. So just about 5 months or so. But I was really excited because I could hear people talking and I would think, oh, I know what they're saying. Or, oh, I recognize that word if I read it somewhere. So I really liked that. That was when I went to Manzanillo,
oh.
which is close.
So
Is
you
in a different state.
oh yeah, you were in Mexico in 2007 for the first time. It was for vacations or something like that.
Yes, it was to visit my dad's aunt
Ah, okay,
who
okay,
lives there.
okay, okay. And then you
So that,
returned for work in 2015, maybe 16.
yes.
Yeah. And at that time, you had a much better level in Spanish in your second time.
I would say my level of understanding was better. My level of speaking was not
Oh yeah, yeah.
there yet. Not quite there.
And yeah, and what did you do being there in Mexico? Did you take some classes or did you take some like routine practice mm, to study Spanish or to improve your Spanish?
I didn't. I probably could have, but I didn't. I didn't have a car. I didn't feel comfortable going on a bus. We lived in, I don't know how you say fraccionamiento, like a community where you don't really leave and you don't, So I didn't feel comfortable going around by myself.
Okay.
And everyone I talked to would say, oh, just speak to me in English. I need to practice
Ah,
my
okay.
English. So let's just speak English. So I went along with that. That was fine for them. And it was okay for me because I was not confident at all.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Okay, so but finally you made friends there in Mexico. You fall in love with the culture, yes?
Yes, yes, I liked it a lot. And I made some friends and they showed me, how everything works down there. It was really different, but I liked it a lot and I really liked the people
Yeah.
and being there.
And then you finished maybe your job, your contract, and you had to go back to the US. And what did you do there in the US? So you
Yes. So with Spanish or just with?
well, you can tell both.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, my husband had gone, well, he wasn't my husband then. He was still, I think, my boyfriend. He was in Texas, and we were making plans to move to Virginia together when he came back because he had his fellowship, which is after you get your doctorate.
Yes.
He had to go on his fellowship, and then his postdoctorate, which was going to be in Virginia. So we were making plans to move there, and that's also when I told my friend Mari, I just said I really want to, keep up my understanding and keep up Spanish. So she agreed to talk with me too. And then I met you, and we talked. So I was just kind of, just for conversation,
So
practice.
you
I
started
talked to Mari and you.
yeah, you started maintaining your Spanish just practicing your English with a Spanish speaker, your Spanish with the Spanish speakers through internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, and WhatsApp, yeah.
yeah. So you didn't take any Spanish class at all there in the US when you go back.
When I came back,
Yeah.
no.
Ah, okay, okay. And and what did you do apart from just having conversations? Did you take another like action to improve your Spanish or something like that?
Whenever I would have a conversation, I would have like a pen and some paper. So if there was a word that someone said that I didn't know, I would write it down and then look it up later. So that was kind of how I studied. I also have this dictionary. I can't find the one I have in Spanish. I just cleaned this room, so I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
But it's a dictionary, and each page
Ah, okay.
has like lots of pictures, and it has the words, and it has a theme. So like one page is garden, and it has all of the words that you would use. So that was something that I also used. So that helped. I wish I would use it more, but
Oh yeah, yeah. And do you have some like techniques or routines or tools that particularly have helped you to improve your Spanish in some way? Do you remember something?
Something that I would do, I liked to watch the news, and I still do. So something I do, I was actually just doing it this morning. I was watching the news, and then I make the sound, the speech level slower,
Oh,
so that
okay.
I can really hear what they're saying. And then I'll watch it again with the speed a little bit faster just to see if I understand it all. So that's something that I do. And then again, if there's a word that I don't know, I'll write it down and look it up later and then make a flashcard out of it.
Yeah,
So that's something that I like to do.
yeah. So now you can say that you can understand the news in Spanish when you listen to.
Yes, I can understand it. I couldn't, make the news myself, but,
Yeah.
but I could understand. For the most part, it depends on where it's from, what country it's from, but yeah, I can understand.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there are some like accents that are more complicated for you. You're
Yeah.
Yeah. So because you have experience with the Mexican accent probably, no? You you
Yes.
you also know my accent in Spanish, and I think you don't have problems with with those accents. But yeah, but there with your experience talking to Spanish speakers, maybe there where you live or the places where you've been, uh, have you had these experiences where you meet some Spanish speakers and you don't understand them, or you finally did well?
Yes. Yes, that happens quite a bit here.
Oh yes.
I was actually just in Walmart this morning. I had to go buy colored paper, and there was a family talking, and I didn't really understand what they were saying. They were also kind of yelling because they were in different aisles, so maybe that was was why I didn't understand. But yes, a lot of people here I have a hard time understanding, especially men. I don't know
Ah,
why.
okay.
But and then usually, they come together and they may have a mom and a dad from two different countries and they marry, and then this child has an accent that didn't even exist before. They have kind of like a mix
Yeah.
of an accent. So that's hard. And then usually if I tell someone, "Oh, I speak Spanish," they talk so fast that I say, I kind of understood. And then I just get nervous and walk away.
Ah, okay, 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 okay. So, did you have an opportunity to go back to Mexico?
Recently,
Yeah, in the last years, after your work there, after working there.
oh yeah. Well, my husband and I got married in by Cancun.
Oh,
So we got married there, and then we went back this year in the summer. So that was fun. And then also I just went back last month, and I went to see my friend for a couple weeks.
y
So that was fun.
your friend, this friend that you visited, she's Mexican, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and she speaks English or just Spanish?
No, just Spanish.
So your whole experience there with her and her family is in Spanish.
Almost, yes. Her daughter is learning. She did what we did. I basically told her, you need to talk to me in English.
Uh,
So I still talk to Mari for a half an hour at night, and then I talk to her daughter for a half an hour in English. So she's actually doing really, really well. Her accent is really great. So for the most part, it was in Spanish, which was fine.
yeah, so probably apart from your time there working in Mexico that year in 2015-16, this last one has been your most effective immersion experience in a Spanish-speaking country, yes?
Yes.
Opportunity, because you've been surrounded by all of Spanish speakers and speaking mostly Spanish there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, and it showed me how much I'm missing
Yeah, so
by just speaking.
yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you that. How do you feel now, this last time there with your Spanish? Do you feel confident with your speaking? What are your
Well, there
feelings?
was one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one day I called my husband and I just was like crying. I'm like, I don't know any Spanish. I don't know how to explain it. Her daughter was looking for a computer, and electronics there are really, really expensive. So I was trying to talk to her about it, and I didn't have the vocabulary. I knew it in English, but it was like every other word I had to look it up. So I was really frustrated. There were a lot of times when I felt really frustrated because we were just using words that you don't normally use in a conversation. So
Uh,
yeah, that made me pretty mad. But
okay, okay. And if you think about that for a moment, and after these years of being like trying to speak Spanish, trying to learn Spanish, and you came to this moment where maybe you don't understand some words, uh, would would you find the reason for that? So it's because you haven't kept studying Spanish formally or something like that that you can say?
yes, I think it was basically the vocabulary, I think, was, the issue. If I would have kept up with more flashcards on,
Okay.
vocabulary from all different themes, then I think I would have been better at it. But again, it's hard to remember those words that you
Yes.
don't use very often, and then all of a sudden you have to use it in a sentence, and you're just like, I don't know how to use it in a
Yeah,
sentence.
they are
So
very specific and specialized. Yeah, for that context. Um, and so talking about the other side, so the positive side. Uh, what would you say that is the most important action that you've taken to improve your English from that first moment where you decided to study more seriously Spanish in the college and now? So,
the most important thing I've done,
yes,
I would say definitely speaking almost every day
every day.
and listening to. I was listening to TV shows, but sometimes the vocabulary and the words they use are just a little bit too like colloquial.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, the news and just listening and making sure that I am speaking. But the biggest thing is just speaking
Speaking.
to me. That was what helped me a lot.
Okay, okay. And right now, what are you doing with your Spanish in in your daily life? Uh, yeah, how do you interact with the Spanish?
Well, right now we're trying to figure it out. I want my husband to learn too, so he
Oh,
actually just started classes last
oh,
week.
really? Spanish?
Yeah, so that was exciting
Wow.
because I told him our future kids will have to know it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, I need to. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out exactly how that's going to look for us because I said that I wanted to speak Spanish to our kids and he can speak English, or I'm sure there'll be times where I'll have to speak English too, but we're trying to kind of figure that out. And he's asking me, when we were shopping, he said, "Oh, how do you say this? How do you say that?" And I would tell him. So
Oh,
he is interested. He wants
oh,
to learn. So
yeah.
that's good.
He's curious for Spanish. And
Yeah.
yeah, so because you both definitely want uh his kid their kids to be bilingual since the beginning.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good decision. Um, so now I would like to end the conversation as I told you before, like going for our Spanish moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I know because I've talked with you in Spanish, but some years ago, so I have to remember your Spanish. Yeah. Entonces, ahora podemos hablar un poquito en español. Eh, yo sé que sabes español. Entonces, si tuvieras que decir un poco para que un poco repitas lo que dijiste en inglés, si tuvieras que recomendar algo en español para la gente que quiere aprender una segunda lengua, un segundo idioma, ¿qué dirías que es lo que más te ayudó a ti a aprender español?
Lo que más me ayudó a mí fue solo hablar y charlar y mantener una conversación con personas o especialmente con la gente con quien usualmente no hablo,
Sí, sí, sí.
no, ajá, sí, y eso es lo que me ayudó
Sí.
mucho y es lo que recomiendo.
Sí. ¿Y qué quieres hacer con tu español para el futuro? ¿Quisieras tú trabajar en español o con gente en español?
Aquí,
Sí.
pues es difícil porque usualmente pues la gente que habla en español no vive muy cerca de mí.
Ah, ok.
Vivo no hay mucha gente que habla en español y viven cerca de mí aquí. Entonces, pues para mí yo tengo que pues hablar con gente que conozco de México o de otros países porque aquí es difícil y la verdad es que usualmente los que hablan español aquí siempre están trabajando y
Ah,
trabajando y trabajando. Así, usualmente tienen restaurantes,
ok.
es más común y siempre estaban
No
trabajando
tienen
y
tiempo. Claro.
no, usualmente no tienen tiempo ni para pues responderme cuando tengo una pregunta
Claro.
en el restaurante. Y no sé si es un estereotipo aquí, pero lo veo como si así es la realidad.
Claro, claro. Bueno, si tienen obligaciones y es difícil para ellos, claro. Detenerse un rato a responderte. Em, eh, y me dijiste que quieres que tu hijo o tu hija hable español, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿Por qué?
Pues porque me ha ayudado muchísimo y pues estaba cuidando a dos niños que hablaron árabe,
Ah,
pues todavía hablan árabe. Y yo podía entender muy rápido y como entendí los letras, no tienen letras, pero ya sabes cómo se
sí,
escribe. Ajá, y los sonidos y todo eso y como la gramática, porque es más complicado en este lenguaje. Y pues me di cuenta de que, es mucho más fácil cuando ya sabes como dos idiomas, aprender otro y también para pues conocer otra cultura es muy importante para entender a otras personas. Es
sí.
algo que me ha ayudado mucho en mi vida.
Oh, great. Great, Christine. Now we can go back to English.
I'm so
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, but you did it. Your Spanish is awesome. It's great. Yeah. I think,
Oh, I get so mad because I hear my errors and I'm like,
yeah, but yeah, I think I cannot find any error now. I have to just listen to the recording.
oh,
Yeah.
you'll find the errors because I listen to them.
Yeah, but I think it's like the
No,
same with my English. Yeah. Uh,
no, but it's just important that people understand you, and if people understand you, then that's all that matters.
yeah. Yeah. So we can end here, Christine. Thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure. And yeah. So I just want to tell you that you just have to keep going with your Spanish. Don't
Oh,
abandon your
thank
Spanish, never. And I would like to see and hear your kids someday speaking Spanish.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yeah. So, thank you, Christine. See you soon. Bye.
All right, thank you. Bye. Bye.